We're going to shift gears a little bit, but we're going to go to a big win streak, and it's from Boylan, and we're going to talk some boys soccer. And with us right now, we have Boylan head soccer coach Chris Mera. Hey, Coach, good to have you on today.
Hi, nice to be here.
You know, we talk about all these streaks that have been broken or have been started. 70 games in a row now in the Nick 10. Do you remember the last time you lost, or were you even there when that happened?
Yeah, I was the varsity assistant coach under Dave Bakta in the early 2007 season. Actually, my head freshman coach was a junior in high school.
Gotcha. Well, you know, we went through this a lot with, football and some other streaks. Just how tough is it, game after game, because you guys have eyes on much bigger prizes. You're looking at state titles, things like that. How tough is it to get them to be focused game after game out there, when you've got this kind of streak and there's going to be a target on your back?
Yeah, well, really, my guys really had no idea about the streak until kind of the article came out on Thursday. That's not something we talk about. Every year our goal is to win the conference title. They've known that we've gone undefeated the past 5 years. I don't think they had any clue about the streak. But, especially in the game of soccer, because soccer is a game that the best team doesn't always win.
Mm-hmm.
You can dominate a game and lose 1-0 because you made a mistake. But we just try and keep them humbled and focused on the prize. And like you said, our real goal starts on Tuesday in the playoffs. So,
when you look at all this, I know you guys, when you do your non-league games, you go to that Barrington tournament. You play some pretty quality teams from the suburbs. That kind of gets you ready for the Nick 10 season, doesn't it?
Yeah, in the past, the Nick 10 for soccer has not been the strongest conference. This year, all the schools have been improving. We say, there's no more 9-0 games where they're just blowouts. I mean, every game's been competitive. And yeah, we bring, this year we brought Glenbard East from Lombard in here, United Township from the Quad Cities, Cary Grove, Huntley. We went to the Barrington tournament, played Gurney Warren, Marmion Academy, Wheaton Warrenville South, Lake Zurich. Then we went down to Peoria Notre Dame, and we had a big road game against Lyons Township. So, yeah, we try to make our non-conference schedule as competitive as possible to prepare us for the state playoffs. And luckily, the Nick 10 helped us out in that way too by making things competitive and make every day a challenge. So,
you talk about dominating a game and then still maybe losing at the end of it there because of a mistake. To avoid that kind of stuff, you have to have a good goalie. How's been your goalkeeping play this year?
Great. I mean, our program, we've always been blessed with talent in the goal. This year we have 6 goalkeepers in the program. I have a senior, a junior, and a sophomore that are all very, very high-quality goalkeepers for their age. Nathan Wisby, my senior captain, this year he's a 3-year varsity starter, and he's, getting looks by multiple Division I schools, hasn't chosen yet, but he's gotten better every year, and, but along with a good goalkeeper, we have a great defense, and we preach that defense comes first. A good defense creates a good offense, and, and it's shown. We've only given up 2 goals in the Nick 10 this year, and 13 goals overall in 20 games.
So who are those defensive players you count on? Because I know they have to do a lot of communication with the goalie. It's just not like they're out there running around. There's a lot of things where the goalie kind of places them or they talk with him. Who are some of the guys that are the key?
Well, a big one, another 3-year player, Tristan Davenport. He's another captain. He's our center back or center defender. Him and our goalkeeper are really the guys who instruct our defense about, rotation and who step into a ball, winning a ball out of the air. They're big at when we get a corner kick or a dead ball going up and scoring themselves. But we have, Tristan Davenport, our junior, Zach Robinson, another senior, Nathan Hudak, and a very good sophomore. I think he's going to have a great future in Connor McGarry. So,
when you look at the playoffs here coming up, you obviously have to get to a regional first here, but have you kind of looked down the line and do you kind of know what you might have waiting for you?
We've played Cary Grove. which would be a sectional team. I keep tabs on the Fox Valley pretty well, and those would be the teams that we would see in the sectional. But we never overlook teams. Last year Hononegah had a great team. We beat them in the Nick 10, but they got us in the regional final. And our first game on Tuesday will be against the winner of Auburn and Hononegah. And you can't look past Guilford, Harlem, Hononegah, or Auburn. It doesn't matter, what you've done to them in the past. They're rival teams, and like I said in soccer, a rival team can step to the occasion, and you don't want to go home early because you're overlooking somebody.
And you're hosting the regional, so you'll be playing on grass. Does that make a difference when your kids play on grass compared to turf? With the Rockford schools in Freeport having turf, you get to play on that a little bit.
Yeah, obviously it's our home field. We play well on it. And I do think for soccer, grass is the best playing surface. If it's flat, it's tough playing on a football field, but at Boylan, our field, it's, it's a decent field. It's not a narrow field. But we play on turf a lot over the course of the season in the suburbs, and obviously going to Guilford and Freeport. We didn't get to play at Harlem this year, but and I truly believe with our style of play, playing on turf is more of our style because the ball's on the ground and we can play quicker. But sometimes, we're mudders and we like to get dirty on the grass, and I think, I think we're good on either surface. We just take it as it comes.
Well, what do you guys look at that you need to improve the most as you get into the playoffs here?
Unfortunately, it's our goal scoring. We've dominated games. We've created a lot of opportunities. We've had, some tough times putting it in the back of the net, where we're winning 2-0 and we have a chance to blow the game wide open, and we're having problems putting it in the back of the net. I guess it's nice to actually have the lead, and we put enough goals in to have the lead. But I think this year we've made things a little difficult on ourselves by not finishing a game off, putting a team away. So I think, in the playoffs, you may only get a handful of opportunities, and, you got to put them in the back of the net.
We're talking with Boylan boys soccer coach Chris Mera. When you talk about your offense, do you have somebody that you count on to get you a big goal if you do need one, maybe late in the game?
Yeah, we have a guy up top, Alexis Galvez. He's a senior. He's another 3-year varsity player. He's very dangerous up top. He's quick. He gets them behind players. Teams have been focusing their defensive efforts on stopping him, and he's still our leading scorer. He's got 15 goals this season. And he was one of the top scorers in the Nick 10 last year. But we complement him with a lot of other players. We have a great offensive midfielders. We have another great forward in Yair Ortega up top with him. But Alexis I believe he's one of the most dangerous players in the state up top, and he's proven it throughout the season.
Putting aside streaks and things like that, because as you said, each team is different on its own. So how special was it for this group of seniors to get out there, go undefeated, win a conference title?
After losing Hononegah in the regional last year, we had some big-time seniors graduate. We brought back 10 seniors. I'd say a handful of them didn't get a lot of time last year. And Tristan Davenport is the only returning defender. So I was always questioning that coming in, who's going to fill the roles. And obviously our defense is our strength this year. It creates our offense. But for these 10 seniors, every year there's pressure, and out of the past 3 years, really since the state champion team graduated, we've had, obviously a tough schedule, and I think this year, it's our best record in the past couple of years. We're 16-2-2 with the competition we play, and for these 10 seniors who didn't have a lot of experience come out and get starting roles and win a Nick 10 championship, especially undefeated with the parity in the conference this year. The second place team I believe is Jefferson, and they're 6-3, and then you have a couple teams at 5-4. So to go undefeated with this group, they've improved every every game, every practice, and to win with those guys, it's pretty special. But I know they would like to do more in the playoffs to make it a more successful season.
Before we let you go, Coach, Rockford's well known for its soccer tournaments. The ISC has a bunch of tournaments, and it's got a really good kids program. Rock Valley College just added men's soccer. How important is that for you as a coach to have that ability to push soccer, and kids already know about it here?
Yeah, Rockford's always done well with soccer. And for Rock Valley to get a program, Frank Horvat, he was the Boylan coach when I was a freshman at Boylan, and then he took off to NIU to start the women's program there. But it's nice to, have local talent stay in town, every once in a while, and the clubs in town, the Rockford Raptors. A lot of my players play for them. They do a great job at training these guys, and with their skills, and my job, I guess, is pretty easy. It's just about, bringing them together and making them a team. Obviously I try to improve them, but, really in high school soccer, it's not like high school football where you see them year-round in the weight room and all that stuff. I only got a couple months with them, and, to bring them together, that's one thing, but they've had excellent training throughout their life with the clubs here in Rockford.
Well, thanks so much, Coach, for being on. I know you have practice this morning yet. We appreciate you taking the time, and good luck in the tournament.
All right, thank you.
We've been talking with Boylan boys soccer coach Chris Mera, and when you talk soccer in the Nick 10, you always think of Boylan.
Yeah, they've been a great program, and similar to some of the other streaks we've seen. One day it'll probably come to an end, but when it does, you have to look back and just look how good that program has been over the years. They've been dominant. 70 games in a row. I even said if you can win 70 checker games in a row. Yeah, anything you do that often is pretty good.
We're going to take a time out. We'll wrap up the show and talk about next week's football schedule. You're listening to the State Line Sports Hour right here on News Talk 1440 WROK.